And welcome back to another episode of Skyhawk Sports Talk. Gregory here with me. Chris Brinkley, another great episode planned for us as we get into this week in Skyhawk Athletics. A very busy week last week, and we add on to that with basketball opening up their season. Women's basketball tonight at home against North Alabama at 6 p.m. on ESPN Plus at the Kathleen and Tom Elam Center. Make sure to come out for that one. And then they will take on the Lady Vols on Thursday on SEC Network Plus. Chris will be there on the call. It will be tip-off at 5:30 again on Thursday. Men's basketball will be at Illinois State tonight, tipping off their season in the Jeremy Schulman era. That will start at 7 p.m. on ESPN Plus. And then the home opener against Kentucky Christian, Education Day at 11 a.m. on Thursday. That one will be on ESPN Plus. Volleyball, it is senior weekend, senior day set for Saturday against SEMO. The Redhawks come to town on Friday. That will be at 6 p.m. on ESPN Plus. And then Saturday also on ESPN Plus. Game will start at 2 p.m. And football will take their final road trip of the regular season when they go to Charleston Southern to play the Buccaneers at 1 p.m. on Saturday on the Skyhawk Sports Network and also ESPN Plus. Chris, basketball, it is here. It is now. I can't believe it.
Now, I'm excited. We've watched them practice. We had our big tip-off madness, and we're ready. It's a busy time of year, and we'll talk about it all coming up this hour.
We will. Make sure to stay with us. We'll take a break. Keep it right here on Skyhawk Sports Talk.
If I quit this season, they still be the greatest.
Skyhawk Sports Talk Podcast is brought to you by Weekly Ford Nissan.
And we're back here on Skyhawk Sports Talk Podcast. Gregory here with me, Chris Brinkley, joining us making his debut on the Skyhawk Sports Talk Podcast. James Caraviello, our sports turf management guy here. UT Martin, Chris, very fired up to have James on.
Thanks
so
know
much.
what? I'm going to just jump right in here and say,
go.
This man right here, like we haven't had a whole lot of conversations, but you're like an onion. Every time we visit, you just peel back another layer.
Yes.
It just gets more impressive.
It does.
And I mean that as a compliment.
I well-rounded person, I guess.
Yeah.
I kind of like to tinker with everything there is. So.
Yeah.
I love it.
Let's have a great interview.
Yeah, this is going to be fantastic. So take care of our baseball, soccer, and softball fields, correct?
Primarily, yes.
Okay.
I fool around a little bit with like the beach volleyball courts, just keeping it graded out and whatnot. And then I manage the ag pavilion, so do a little bit with equestrian and rodeo.
Okay, fantastic. We've got this fly that keeps coming around.
Yeah, there's a fly.
So could you kill? You probably kill a bunch of flies in the equestrian.
Hey, let me
places.
go get the chemicals real quick.
Yeah.
Tell me, actually, while we're on these Asian beetles, these ladybug things are taking over West Tennessee.
It's this time every year with the weather.
It's just regular homeowners who don't want to be mean to animals. What can I do?
I mean, you could put out like sticky paper or sticky tags or things like that. That'll draw them to it.
Yeah.
If you don't want to spray for them.
Okay. Maybe I just spray. Are you having problems with them?
Yeah.
No?
No.
I don't think so.
I mean, I've had a lot of them at the house,
Yeah.
but then they've kind of went away after that first cold we got. And I'm sure they'll come back again. But
I do have a house cat who's having a blast.
Yeah.
But anyway,
There you go.
get to the interview.
Chris, you bring a good point, though. James, you were telling me about the army worms next to the soccer field. Talk about dealing with them and what does an army worm even do to mess up some of the fields that we have?
So technically it's army worms is one full word. So if you try to look it up online, it's two separate. Yeah, if you type it in two separate words, you're not going to find it. So it's army worms, no space.
Okay.
They're maybe half-inch in length, and what they do is they come in waves and they just devour the Bermuda primarily. I've seen them target other types of grass, but Bermuda's the one that they go for. Now this year,
Bermuda's a strong grass too, right?
it is, which it'll eat it all the way down to the roots, but then it'll green right back up. So usually if you get through a wave of the army worms without treating it at all, it'll green back up.
Gotcha.
Now, the way that the drought was this year, I mean, it was pretty severe. So the army worms were looking for any wet food, essentially, is what they were looking for. So with me irrigating the fields, they were targeting that as opposed to anything else. The rugby field, which is where the cross country ran their course, when we sprayed the soccer field to treat for the army worms, they had nowhere else to go except to that field. So that's why if you drove down the road, it was just nothing but brown and then green.
Yeah.
So we sprayed for it, and we had to do that twice this year. Once back in early August, and then again right after that hurricane went through. I think it just brought a lot over. And what's kind of cool.
Is that called do moles eat army worms? No.
Well, they can,
yeah.
but if you're having a mole problem, it's usually because you've got grubs or other types of mole crickets or insects in the grass that the moles are going after.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never done anything to treat for moles. I've always done the old school train. You see the tunnels, you go over there, you tap it down, and you wait for it to move again, and then you stomp it really hard.
Yeah.
And then
that'll do it. Dude.
Once it stops, there's usually a dead mole right there.
Oh, perfect. Now I know what to do if I have mold. I'm renting right now, but no. Once I get a house, I'm going to war.
Yeah, it's kind of you do it early in the morning. Is usually when they're most active.
Okay.
I'm not a morning person, so they might get the best of me on that one. So
or get you some outdoor cats.
Yeah, that is true. I'm allergic.
Oh gosh,
okay.
Yeah.
This fly. Can you get rid of this?
Yeah,
fly?
I know. This is. If you get this fly, you are a guest on this podcast.
He's made 7 consecutive podcast
He's killing
appearances.
it. I mean, he's leading in appearances on this podcast. So how many years at UTM has it been for you now?
I'm entering my 4th school year. I've just done my 4th soccer season.
Okay.
So then in the spring, it'll be my 4th baseball, softball season.
So came to UT Martin from where?
Charleston, South Carolina.
Ta-da.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we're going to go to Charleston
That's right.
this weekend for a football game. So before you came to UT Martin, what were you doing in Charleston?
At that particular time, I was working at a rather large nursery. Shout out to Himes Garden Center. I don't know if they'll see it.
We'll tag them.
I was essentially a nurseryman, taking care of plants, sales, and then help repair greenhouses, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was fun. I mean, that's technically what my degree is horticulture, and it's kind of fun that way because you don't get stuck in just one particular thing. Like I've gotten to have a career in a nursery, in a greenhouse. I've gotten to have a career in sports turf management, so it's well-rounded degree.
How did this become your passion when you were a kid? Did you?
I mean, I wasn't very good at baseball, so I had to find a way to get on the field, and somebody had to
created the field.
Yes.
Yeah.
You made
I figured
the field.
if I made the field, I got to play on it.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, that didn't work. As when I was in 10th, 11th grade, they started a pilot program at my high school.
Oh, nice.
For sports turf management, and that was the first thing we did was we built practice infield for the high school team.
Wow.
Yeah. And
so you're like 13, 14 years old and whatever.
A little older than that.
Yeah.
I was probably 15, 16.
Okay.
Yeah, so I knew because I could drive at that time when I was doing it.
Yeah.
So I must have been in 11th grade.
Yeah.
And then just kind of found out that the local community college there had a horticulture program. And I went there. That was really the only option I wanted to do. I didn't enjoy school per se to the full degree of going to class every day and all that stuff. I liked going to it because once I got into my senior year in high school, I was taking all these like hands-on classes, and so that stuff was fun. And went to the community college, got a degree in horticulture, worked doing landscape maintenance for a while, and then got on at the College of Charleston working on the baseball field. Probably my 3rd time asking if they were hiring. He ended up calling the professor I had at Trident Tech at the community college to get a hold of me to say, hey, we have a spot open. And that was at the end of 2012, and I started January of 2013 at the College of Charleston.
Yeah.
So then, how did you make your way to UT Martin after that?
Let's see. I worked there for I can't remember how many years. I mean, the hours that go into it. I mean, you guys get it. That everything runs together, and you don't know when it's been 5 years.
Yeah.
I left. It must have been 17. I think I left in 2017, and worked for my family company at the time, pressure washing and window cleaning, and that was a blast. Well, Ryan Jenkins ended up coming out this way and got the head job. And that his first full year, they needed somebody to build bullpens and install the warning track.
Yeah.
And so they called me, and I came out, spent about a week here, fell in love with the town, really liked the area. The community was nice. And I just always stayed in touch, and Jenks contacted me a couple years after that. So it was right after, the COVID year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, he contacted I got a text message in the summer of 21, said, hey, send me your resume. And I did that. And then about 2 weeks later, I didn't hear anything. 2 weeks later, I get a call, hey, can you be here the 1st of August?
Wow.
Yeah. I was like, okay. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, why not? Let's just do it. Let's do it. Why not? Let's just make this thing. Let's go ahead and do it.
And it was the right decision for us. Is it the right decision for you?
It has been.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't regret it at all.
Yeah.
I don't. I like the small town. Charleston used to be a very small town, but it has grown. But being here, it's I don't know. I can't go anywhere in Martin without running into somebody I know.
Right.
Sometimes that's cool. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm just trying to get my groceries, guys. So
Exactly.
I think it's really cool the way you see the world through a whole different lens. Like, you can't drive by a yard and not go, hey, but that maybe, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, no, this is a somewhat different climate than what I was brought up in. I mean, Charleston's more of a tropical climate zone. So
which is easier?
Longer growing season.
Okay.
But you have a ton more that will grow in those types of
including
climates,
things you don't want?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. There's a lot more invasive weeds. Kudzu's probably the biggest one in that area, but and other types of vines.
What do you have, the moss that grows in the trees?
Mm-hmm.
What is that? What is
Spanish moss?
Yeah.
Are you talking about the ones that hang down?
Well, you
like
don't really
fruit?
always want it there, or yeah.
Yeah, no, they get bugs in them, but those are primarily in live oaks,
Okay.
which live oaks don't really grow around here, which is kind of cool because they stay evergreen. They don't go deciduous or drop their leaves in the winter, but they drop their leaves year round, so they're a constant mess.
Davis, you're a single bachelor, right?
Yes.
Do you have any house plants?
What do you mean? Any house plants?
Yes.
No.
You need one.
No.
So if we were going to get him to get one house plant, one, just for Davis, you don't even want one? Why?
I would do a ponytail palm.
I don't even know what that is.
It looks like a miniature palm tree.
Oh, nice.
It does not like the cold outside during the wintertime, but in the summertime you could set it outside. It likes a lot of light.
Yeah.
But it's a very drought-tolerant plant because think of like a camel when it has the humps on its back, how it stores water. The trunk of that is the same way.
What are you thinking? Maybe? No?
About
How about a
25%
bonsai
chance.
tree? That's a lot of work.
Yeah,
though,
that's
right?
a lot of work.
Yeah, no, I ain't got time for that.
Okay.
I ain't got time for that. So baseball's putting in a new field right now, and
Yeah.
I've gotten a lot of questions from everybody. Oh, what's happening? Is it going to be turf? What's it going to be? Are they adding more pickleball courts? Yeah, like so many things that I'm hearing. What's been going on with the field, and what's gone into that, and what are we building?
Well, we're renovating the baseball field, a better way to put it. It's not going to be artificial. It's going to be natural. The clay is getting reworked. We're going to have clay-based paths. We're going to have natural grass, which is a better variety than what was out there. It's one of the newer ones. It's called Northbridge Bermuda. We'll upgrade the irrigation system that's out there, add drainage into it, and a new wall. And I think the wall moves in a little bit in center field.
Oh, nice.
But
okay.
yeah, but as far as the corners go, those stay the same. And we made upgrades to the bullpens. So yeah.
And new sports turf management Twitter account as well. That's active, so make sure you go
Yeah.
follow
Oh,
that.
very cool.
Well, found out James is a skateboarder because of that. Correct.
Really?
Yeah.
See, here's another layer.
Yeah.
That was something I did very early on. My uncle gave me my first skateboard, which he found in a dumpster. And since then, I just kind of like to cruise around on it.
I've never seen you on a skateboard, though. That's the crazy thing.
Yeah. I used to do it on the tennis courts over there until public safety started kicking people off.
a bunch of garbage. What the heck?
Yeah.
As long as you don't do it on the pickleball courts,
I won't do it on the pickleball courts.
I have one more question. Like we have these apps now in technology where you can actually take a picture of a plant and it'll tell you about the plant. Just since you've been in this world, how has technology changed it and made it better?
Well, I don't have to carry around so many books anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the biggest thing. My mother, she's got a couple different of those apps, and she'll just
that's phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't even have to ask me what this is anymore.
Yeah.
She'll just take a picture and do all this stuff, and I mean that's still pretty cool. But I kind of like
your books.
My big book.
He likes his books. He likes his knowledge.
I like the big book. It's a lot easier for me to find it as opposed to am I getting the right source of information on the app? And I've seen them go both ways, be absolutely correct, and I've seen them.
They're not always right.
Okay.
Yeah. I have the plant app and the bird app. So.
Yeah, there's an insect one too.
Is there? That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I should try that. What?
This
is the world as you get older. Less interesting things to you now will become more interesting. You agree with that?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Well, to that's one of the other ones that my mom has is she took a picture and she asked me. She said, "Why do the tomato plants have armyworms?" I said, "That never known armyworms eat tomato plants." But comes to find out, there's tons of varieties and species of armyworms, and some will go after crops as opposed to grass.
Oh,
interesting.
Well, not good for the tomato plant growers.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, again, the drought. I mean, when you have such a severe drought, if you have plants that are regularly maintained and watered, the insects are going to find
Well, basically, the world, nature, plants, animals, they're just looking for a place to live and eat, right?
Just like us.
Yeah. And what you were talking about earlier is you kind of got to go to the source of why are they here. It's not like CSI, but you're trying to figure out a problem and you're having to decompose it, I guess.
Right. And armyworms on the soccer field. I guess you could say the problem is me watering the field, but I really can't not during a drought.
Kind of has to have that happen.
I don't think Varga would be too happy.
No, I don't think Coach would be happy either. But no, I know all the coaches happy to have you here, James. Thanks so much for coming on for this episode.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we will take a break, and when we come back, more coming up here on the Skyhawk Sports Talk podcast.
If I quit this season, I still be the greatest.
Skyhawk Sports Talk podcast is brought to you by Weekly Ford Nissan.
And we're back here on Skyhawk Sports Talk. Davis Gregory here with Chris Brinkley, now joining us, head coach of the UT Martin volleyball team. Jaclynn Wilson is the Skyhawks, taking on SEMO this week for senior weekend. Coach, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So SEMO coming up this weekend, senior day and everything, but want to talk about last match, Tennessee State, 5 sets, get it done there, grind out a victory. What went into that one?
Goodness, it's been a challenging year. We that's not a big surprise, but I mean, we've just faced some adversity this year, and losing to TSU on Friday for me was pretty unexpected. I thought we'd go down and get the job done, and they played really well, and we did not, and so it didn't turn out. So for our girls to bounce back on Saturday, I was happy with that. To pull out a 5-set win, I was happy with that. You get to that 5th set, it goes really fast, and it's such a momentum sport. And then that 5th set alone, 15 points, it's momentum carries you through. So for the girls to pull that out, I was really happy with it. I think every opportunity for us to compete right now, we've learned a lot through the losses, and I'm proud of the girls for continuing to get back up and work and compete, and I'm excited to take on SEMO this weekend.
And what I've loved is you all have continued to have fun this year, like Halloween scrimmage. Talk to us about that. Everybody's got a costume dressed up. When did that start, and had that this past week as well? It looked fun.
Something we've always done. Honestly, my mom was one of my coaches, and we did that in high school, and it's kind of, we did like a trick-or-treat practice, so you compete for candy is what we do, and a lot of different. This year it was a little different. I brought in our beach girls at the same time because we are one program and a lot crossover, and so it was a little different this year. Usually with just the indoor, it's a lot of indoor drills and competitive stuff for Candy. And this year we changed it up and did just a lot of different events. And some of it was volleyball related. Some of it had nothing to do with volleyball, just a little fun and, mental day for the girls. And I mean, we did pumpkin bowling up in the blue room. We did like a gourd and pumpkin toss and little putt-putt competition. And then we came down to the gym and did some volleyball stuff. But it was a great time, just fun for the girls to be able to enjoy it. And sometimes I think for all of us to take a step back and enjoy each other. And, even though it's been a challenging year, like that doesn't define who they are and what, and we talk a lot about character and that being number one and being important in our culture. And I think it's important to enjoy stuff like that.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, and I know someone dressed up as you, correct?
They did. They
dressed up as your family.
Yeah. So this is the second time that's happened.
I was wondering how many times it's happened. Because
yes.
I feel like it would be kind of someone will do coach, but then it's like, so many people do it every year.
Right. Well, the first time, Kristen Phillips, who's currently on the team, Hannah Phillips dressed up as Paul, my husband, and
that's hilarious.
And then I hadn't had Cam yet, so that year they did Paul, myself, Callie, and my dogs. So this year, though, Kristen, so Hannah was Paul. This year, Kristen, her younger sister, came in as Paul, and then they did Callie, Cam, and myself. And Mia dressed up as me, and she nailed it. I mean, she walked in.
It was very good.
And some of the girls thought she was me.
Wow.
So it was good. It was fun.
Did she talk like you, too?
She tried to stay in character the whole time, which was really funny. And it's funny to see them be Paul. And I won't go into all the details there, but it's hilarious, It
was very funny.
At one point, Mia looked at Kristen, who was Paul, myself, and Paul, and she said, "Where are our kids?" and Kristen, as Paul, was like, like looking around, and I'm like, oh, too funny. So
that's pretty good. No, but it's awesome to see that. So senior day this weekend, got a couple seniors recognized: Dylan Mott, Josie Hess, Hannah Hayslip, Zara McCauley, Jenna Valley, and Addie Vaughn. Hey, Coach, what have they meant to this program this season? I know it's been a difficult year, but some of them have been here for a couple seasons, and they've really put a lot of time into this program.
For sure. I mean, you've got a few on there who have been here, the whole duration of their collegiate careers, and they have meant a lot to the program, and they have, been a part of, some of the championships. And so I think for them, this has been challenging, but I'm really proud of them and the leadership they've shown. And they haven't acted or, shown disappointment in this season. And I think for last year, we didn't have any freshmen, and this year we have a lot, including the red shirt freshmen. I think we have 7. And so I think the example they're setting has been really powerful and showing even through struggle, we're going to show up, and this is what we do. And so they've been great. Dylan Mott, she's playing libero for us this year. She was libero, in other years. Last year she had to step in and play outside for us, which is, we still joke about it. She had a really great game against TSU on the outside last year, and so we went there this weekend. She's like, "You want me to take some swings on the outside?" And Addie Vaughn, she set for us for years, and now she's playing in the middle. And not only playing in the middle because that's what our team needed, but she's being very successful in the middle. And I'm really, really proud of, her doing that. That's really hard to do. But showing everybody else, hey, this is what the team needs, and we're going to step up and do it. And Peep is Hannah Hayslip. I don't even have her in my phone as Hannah. I can't even think of her as Hannah. She's Peep, kind of like Birdie we talked about. Peep got the nickname Peep because she didn't speak her freshman year.
That's what I was wondering. I was wondering how she got that.
Really, really quiet, and so we nicknamed her Peep, and it's just stuck. And that's just how we know her in our gym. But
that really reminds me. I think my grandmother used to say, "Not a peep out of you."
Right.
Yeah.
So her story is incredible. I mean, she's locally, volleyball has been a little bit behind the ball, and it's grown a lot, and we're proud of that, and we've tried to impact the local growth of the sport. but she comes from not too far from here, and she would come to our camps, and it was one of those. It was like, she's kind of a local-ish kid, and we really enjoyed working with her, and for her to come in and now be starting and or playing full-time in a 6-2, it's an incredible story, and she's not been in that role her entire career here, but she has showed up every single day with a great attitude. She's a huge part of our program, a huge part of our team. Great sense of humor. I don't know if you've seen any of her. She really commits to the Halloween.
Yes, she
really
did.
Commits. And then did you see her other Ronald McDonald?
I did see that.
Oh my
yes.
gosh, she's a hoot. So
it was on the money. It was perfection.
She goes all in, and that's the one thing about our Halloween practice. Our team fully commits. They fully commit.
I was very impressed.
I really do love that. We joke like other programs and teams post pictures, and I'm like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah, they don't
if you're
know
gonna
what
do
we're
it, you gotta go all in.
You gotta go all in. You were the dodgeball team?
We were the dodgeball team.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't know if I've ever seen that movie before.
You've not seen Dodgeball. You have to.
Is it just Dodgeball?
Yeah.
Is that the name of the movie?
Yeah. It's
Okay.
funny.
All right. But
it's
it was
not just Dodgeball.
It was.
That's the name of the movie.
Okay, that's just the name of the movie. Okay.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah.
So no, senior day coming up. So awesome to honor these people. But a freshman on the team continues to play well. I know we've talked about Kylie Surratt a lot, Coach, but bring her up again. She's won 3 OVC Freshman of the Week awards. Hey, how have you seen her mature throughout this season? Because I remember last time we talked, teams were starting to adjust to her, but, I mean, she continues to improve and find different ways to get kills and help your team win.
Kylie's special. She's really special. Honestly, I was talking to former player, superstar Karen Scanlon the other day. And, Kylie reminds me a lot of Karen. She's very competitive, but very level-headed. And she just, I don't feel like I'm sure she feels pressure because it's been a lot on her this year, but she doesn't show it. And, even if it's not a great game for her, it's very solid. You look at the numbers, and it's like she's thrown the team on her shoulders a lot this year, and for a freshman to do that, I've told her several times, I know as a freshman this can be a lot. We're leaning on you. Teams are worried about you. They're giving you their best. Like, they're scouting you. They're trying to slow you down. They're trying to shut you down. Like, you are the key piece they're watching right now.
Right.
And I said, this is as hard as it gets. You're a freshman, you're a go-to. They're giving you their best. I'm like, and you're still finding ways to succeed. And she's only going to get better. And I love having her in the gym. She comes in early and gets reps. Like, she's a workhorse. And I think she's going to have an incredible career.
6 more matches left in the season. How do you all finish strong here in the conference slate? I know SEMO, Tennessee Tech, also one of the last opponents you all played to.
Yeah, we have a tough way out for sure. We just have to. We're trying to fight to get in the tournament right now. Is the reality of it, and we haven't put ourselves in the best position. So we've got to get some wins, and just take each opportunity. Like I said, with us being a younger team and a younger program. Every opportunity we talk about, like, it's not just about having the opportunity, but what we do with it. And I think it's important. Like, every day in the gym right now, it's important. And I can't tell you how these last 6 games are going to go, but I can tell you our girls are going to show up and they're going to fight. And we can't control. We can give our best and win. We can give our best and not win. But I do believe our girls are going to show up and give their best.
Well, Coach, thanks so much for your time. Good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
We will
Appreciate
take a break. When we come back, we will have head coach of the UT Martin football team, Jason Simpson, join us here on Skyhawk Sports Talk.
If I quit this season, I still be the greatest.
Skyhawk Sports Talk podcast is brought to you by Weekly Ford Nissan.
We're back here on the Skyhawk Sports Talk podcast. Head coach of the UT Martin football team, Jason Simpson, joins Chris and I, the Skyhawks, with an upset over the weekend over number 25, Tennessee State, 28-21. Make a stand on 4th down and goal, and the Skyhawks keep their playoff hopes alive. Josh Hastings, the pass breakup to win it. Coach, a very great football game down there at Nissan Stadium this weekend.
No, it was. I don't know about upset, but I appreciate your dramatic connotation on it.
Add some juice, Coach.
Okay, I got you. We have beat them at least 4 times in a row.
4 times in a row.
So
I love watching this.
But no, very good football game. No, you're right about that. I was telling our coaches that I appreciate their preparation and them, their kids' execution. And it was a very competitive game. Obviously, some different things to learn from throughout the game, right? You score 3 times in the first 12 plays, right? And I don't think anybody relaxed or anything like that, okay? Not at all after going back, just you're playing a good team, right? And then once you allowed them to return the kickoff return, to their credit, right? They've done it before. Okay, now it's 2-score game, right? With a lot of time left. And so, and then you take a 28-14 lead at halftime. Okay, and now to their credit, their defense made some adjustments and started winning the line of scrimmage. And which, like I said, they're a quality team. And we got backed up a couple times, right? Couldn't get it out a little bit, and so now we got a game, and it's 28-21. But how very impressed with our players and our coaches on defense on that last drive.
Yeah,
very impressed with that. And I say that now they had the ball. I saw it. 4 minutes and 53 seconds left, right? And they go down and make some plays, and we kind of bend, don't break. But there were so many good things that happened on that last drive, okay, especially I'm talking about 1st and goal, okay, with 4 shots there. One, they throw a little RPO back shoulder fade, and LP makes a nice play, okay, makes it difficult. And it was going to be a perfect throw, and that's incomplete. And then they try to go bootleg back to the field. We missed a tackle or 2, but there's corners and safeties running to the ball and made it bubble and get a tackle for loss, right? And then on 3rd down, I believe they challenged, they went toward the corner. They ran a corner route in the back in the flat. Sharp does a nice job, carrying that tight end and man coverage, okay, corner route going to the back pylon. And Salakin falls off the back and, gets involved in it once again, makes the window very small, and we get a pass breakup. Then you got the cat and mouse game on the last play there. The ball's got to go in the end zone. And on 4th down there. And, they show us formation. We take a timeout. Okay, so they come back out. Now they motion the receiver back across, but Coach Butcher showed blitz, 0 pressure. Here it comes. All right, ball's got to come out quickly, right? And then on the snap, we bailed. Okay, and then we played, cover 2 behind it. And, and during that, right, Murray – goes an inside move and flushes the quarterback out. So now when he's got to go to his left, right, now the field is shrunk into, a third, okay, right, because he can't throw the ball back across there. So now everybody's running to him. The routes get condensed. The space is not as much. And I just saw it while I go in staff meeting, and Charles Perkins is in hot pursuit of the quarterback, and very maturely has a chance for a big hit on the quarterback as he's releasing it, and he pulls up, okay, and doesn't put it in the official's hand, right, to get him 1st and goal. Very mature play, and then we got a hand on the ball, incomplete, and we win the football game. So a lot of positive things, and very proud of our players.
Do you go back, like on a play like that, you're talking about him pulling his hands back in the play, do you tell him that, or –
you talk about it all the time,
yeah.
right? Don't put it in the official's hands, right? You get one step, but sometimes, right, that particular time, did he think about that? Did he, during the week, did he tell himself, during the play, his Coach Griffin, right? We're always, I told the receivers, all week about not getting flags and getting emotional. Obviously, they didn't listen, okay? But Charles Perkins listened, and he did what was best for the team.
You tell him after you watch the film?
I will today.
Yeah,
I
say,
didn't
look,
see it.
Yeah. Because you can't see everything on the field.
No. That was the deal to where, if we'd have got a flag, I'd have been like, what happened?
Yeah.
And it's too late then.
Yeah.
So very proud of good, mature play.
Kincaid, 4 touchdowns for the 3rd straight week, 3 through the air, 1 on the ground, 18 for 27, 266 yards, 6 carries, 29 yards. Led the team very well on Saturday, especially when you say, Coach, their defensive line was playing a really good game against the run.
Yeah, the first touchdown to I believe it was the Tanksley. Mm-hmm. What a great throw. What a great route. It was covered fairly well. There was one place for the ball to go in, and Tank makes a nice play. Great throw. Then I guess on the second one, right, nice schemed up play and a little boot action and a little switch scissors in the boundary, and Zoe comes out of there clean and catches it and goes. And then then the one up the sideline to Scotty. I mean, it's a nice throw, and we need some more of that of Scotty. Scotty can be a good player here. He's got a lot of physical tools. And, so boom, it's 21-0. And nice play on to get to 28, the fourth score, right, on the zone read. And we arc the tight ends, and good job coaching and executing of how we arc that with the tight ends. And the quarterback was able to get in right there at the pylon. So, no, Kincaid would probably tell you there's probably one or two he'd like to have back, right? But there was a lot of positive play on his part. Once again, I guess in 2 years starting now, FCS, he's got 17, 6 this year. He's got 14 wins, okay, with 3 games to go. So he's certainly made an impact here at UT Martin.
And Tyler Dawson, the tight ends, continue to play really well for you. Dawson, the leading receiver, 4 for 87, and had some really contested catches and played a good game.
No, he really did. There was some good nice play on one of them. Got pressure, and Kincaid had to get it out. Worried me when the ball got up. But Tyler does a nice job. He knows how to use his body well, and he kind of rebounds, and he's got really good hands. And, we schemed up a couple to him there, got a little screen to him, and that was a nice play by him. But, him and Max have been a kind of a shot in the arm to us, and some of the ways we're trying to find ways to scheme some things up and get the ball in their hands.
Yeah. On the defensive side, Chris Hunter, what a big day for him, the senior graduate, I should say. 6 tackles, 2 interceptions in the pass breakup. Had the interception down there to stop them. Well, I think it was the second to last time that they had the football. I mean, he played He played a tremendous game.
Yeah, he said for the game he was going to get 3.
Wow.
And he almost got a third one there early in the game. He tipped the ball up and was almost able to get it. Chris has really good ball skills, okay, and it's kind of a blessing and a curse a little bit. He has really good instincts. He's kind of the guy when the ball comes off the rim, if he was playing basketball, right, just kind of knows how to position himself to be able to get that rebound, even if he was in there with, some 7-footers.
Mm-hmm.
He's just got some unique skill. Now, it gets him in trouble sometimes because he has, pretty good instincts, and there's a couple times where he got himself out of position, trying to get that interception.
Well, Gretzky used to say, they say, how are you so great when you weren't the most athletic? And he said, I didn't go where the puck was. I went to where it was going to be.
Yeah.
Well, when you do that, sometimes you miss.
Yeah. Him and O'Shea are very similar with that. You got to learn when to take risk, when not. But there's some of them, and we'll show him on tape that, there's 2 other guys over there. You don't need to be working to your right, okay?
Yeah.
There's a receiver to your left. That's where you were supposed to be anyway. And even if you're playing a hunch, that was a bad hunch. That wasn't even close. So there's just need to get a couple of those out of there. But yeah, those were 2 big plays by Chris that he made, and he's enjoying his senior year. What I mean by that is he's playing more than he's ever played. He's contributing more than he's ever contributing. And he's trying to lead as good as he can. So, 2 big plays by him, and he said for the game he was going to get them, so he did.
And I want to talk about his leadership too.
Mm-hmm.
He brought the team together. I think it was in the 4th, maybe late in the 3rd quarter. Brought the team together and talked to him. What did he say to the group?
Chris talks a lot, so I don't know exactly, remember exactly, but I say that kind of tongue in cheek because Chris has a pretty unique awareness of big picture, okay, and the dynamics of a team, dynamics of offense and defense and stuff, what teams are trying to do. He really does. I kid with him all the time about being maybe an offensive coordinator one day if that's something he tried to do. He just does. He can feel the vibe. He can see, understand, are we beating ourselves or are they out physicaling us? Okay, what do we got to do here? And most times things I hear Chris say are for the betterment of the team, and they're kind of spot on some things. They may be said in the way the kids understand them. Maybe it's not exactly how you and I would say them, but everybody understands the message that he's given them.
That's huge that for him that you recognize that quality that you have, you see it in him.
Yeah, you know what? And I have a lot of respect for him. I mean, like I said, I allow Chris some leeway on some things because of his, he'll check the stats before the game or, early in the week. What are we playing against? What the weather's going to be like? What's the momentum they've got going on down there? Who's out this week? He always knows the inside of stuff like that. And some players, don't do those kind of things. So Chris has got that's what coaches do.
Yeah.
Right? We're looking for any edge that we can get, and to his credit, he does as well.
And Tevin and Jacob Stevenson, they tie for the team lead in tackles with 7. Deshaun McKnight had a sack on Draylon Ellis. And, Coach, you talked about the defense Tennessee State played in the second half. What were some of the changes you noticed whenever you turned on the tape?
Well, they played a lot more 3 down in the second half, and they've got some big guys inside. And, sometimes it's, they just sat down, and you didn't move them as far, right? If I moved him 6 inches less and the other guy 6 inches left, now the hole is that much smaller. And so there was a couple times of that. There was, sometimes, I may have the wrong play called. Not, just inadvertently there's better plays, but, you don't always know exactly what blitz is coming. You don't always know if the 3 techniques to the field or to the boundary or, did the back miss the cut. There's a combination of things. But I think there was a lot more blitzes probably later on in the second half. Once they were down, right, from the standpoint of, got to make something happen, right? Probably the players started playing a little bit harder with a sense of urgency, understanding, what that we were up at that time. So it's a combination of things.
And Charleston Southern up this weekend, but before that, polls came out today in the top 25 in both of those rankings. And going into this last road game, how important is getting those polls and start to get your name out there in front of that committee?
I don't know. When I say that, I think probably last year we probably ranked a long time until we lost there for several weeks. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, you'd like to be in the top 10, stay there all year. That'd be a perfect scenario. But in this particular scenario, right?
Can I say something?
Please do.
Okay. I don't know if you can say this, but no, I mean, I've been around UT Martin football for a long time, and it's nice to be getting the respect that we're getting now. But I still don't think we get the respect that we deserve.
No.
So, and I know you probably can't say that, but it's a lot more respect than we have ever gotten. But I still think we deserve more.
Well, I appreciate that, and and I'd say that. Doesn't bother me, but I think it's more so our league. Okay. I think it's more so our league. And there's a lot of teams at the bottom of our league and we're playing one this week that with not so great records. Okay, now I turn the tape on. I don't see that. I don't see a 1-8 football team. And last year we were it was 3-0 in the fourth quarter last year when we played them. So but that when you take their record and West Illinois' record and then all of our non-conference games, right? We lost our Missouri State game. Okay, now we won our Kennesaw one, but we lost the Missouri State game of a quality opponent. So, not and SEMO won there. Who'd they beat? Missouri State. No, they beat Southern Illinois.
Southern Illinois. Yep.
So so there's credibility. It's got to get beat up. You see the arguments every week, right? The ACC, Big 12, Big 10, and all that. So no different than in our league, but I do think there's some credibility to come with us of being consistent for what probably 5 of the last 6 years. Have been a winning football team with 7-8 wins, and so. But
it's a strange situation in that the league has changed.
Yeah, new teams, right?
And new teams are in, so everybody's learning. And I guess your argument, it's what Coach McMillan says all the time. The stronger our league is, the stronger the top teams in our league will be.
Yeah,
it's very important for our league to be strong.
Well, you can have SEMO, whether in the top 10. How'd they get there? They beat us, right? And they hadn't lost one since then. And then Southern Illinois, that's not a great win this year. In some years it would be because I think they're probably 2-7 or something right now. But like I said, they got in there. A couple people lost. Now they keep winning. They're there. But go back and look at their scores compared to some other teams in our league. I mean, whether it be Gardner-Webb played them close for a while. Charleston Southern played them well close for a while. So I think it's 28. What is the final score?
With Charleston Southern?
28-17 against Charleston Southern, something like that. So regardless, there's still perception. If you don't watch the games and look at the stats, you just see the wins, loss.
And that's what the pollsters look like. They look at the score and they look at the record.
Yeah.
Mostly.
No doubt. So, anyway, we got 12 quarters of football left. I know what the math says. If you can win all 3 games, the math says that you'll be a 9-3 team. All right, with an FBS win. So I feel good about that. And right now, just concentrating on these 4 quarters in Charleston this week.
Charleston Southern 1-8, 0-6 in the conference, but they've lost 5 one-score games, Coach. And again, this is a tough football team, and you got to go on the road. It's a long trip.
No, this isn't coach speak. No, you're 100% right. No, 100% right. What concerns me is that they're scoring about 16 points a game. All right, but they're only giving up around 24, 25 points a game. All right, so that's one run, that's one more interception. That's just one to where now the game can go either way. So that's very concerning to me. I know how tough they were playing against us last year. Like I said, offensively we didn't do very much at all, and it was a 3-0 game. Same scheme, a lot of the same players back. So we got to do a better job on offense this year. Hopefully the defense can hold us in there for a while. But they're an option team, right? So, it's 11 on 11. The quarterback's going to run. He's going to be on the perimeter. They got the dive pitch quarterback, and so that can be concerning.
So plane etiquette. Chris asked you about bus etiquette before. What goes on the bus? What are the unwritten rules? What happens on the plane?
Well, we don't fly very much, so I don't know if we've developed too much etiquette when it comes to that.
I think guys are mostly quieter because on planes.
Yeah. I've got some Tony Lester's plane etiquette, right? As far as I've flown that a lot, but as far as the charters and stuff, no, I don't know. But Chris is right. There's a lot of guys probably hadn't flown before or only once, so yeah, they are a little bit more subdued when it comes to that, trying to hide their nervousness and stuff. So, but no, I think we leave out here Friday morning. I think flight goes out around 3 o'clock. But, compared to, 12, 13 or so hour bus trip, man.
Especially now with the issues with I-40.
Oh, man. So, no, this was something that was necessary. It's costly, okay, but it was something that was necessary. And, so I think it gives us the best opportunity for safety and travel and competitive game. So, tonight we're back on it. We'll team meet today at 2:30 and try to hash some things out, some things we did good, things we need to improve on. Obviously, kickoff return. You give the team you miss a field goal, right? We've been really good on special teams the last month. Okay, but that put us in a bind, missing a field goal and then getting kickoff returns against us. Their punter did a nice job in Tennessee State, so wouldn't let us get our punt return, get O'Shea going, and they covered kicks better than we did. So, we lost the special teams battle this week. And, but luckily our defense only gave up 2 scores, and then offensively we did enough. I mean, that's a good defense. That's a good football team. The quarterback's good. I think them and SEMO will be a good game.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game.
Where's that game at?
That is at Tennessee State, I believe.
Is it really?
They were promoting it on the Jumbotron. So, looking forward to the big flights. I'm riding the bus
with
you onto the plane.
Well,
hey, come on now.
I think we'll see maybe let you sit by Big Smiley, and he'll take up like half your arm rest. Okay, Smiley's a big man, so we'll put you.
I can be right there.
Yeah,
right.
Either that or we'll let you ride with the specialists. Because you might relate better to some of them.
Yeah, I was going to compliment you. I was like, oh, our coach hasn't pulled out any jokes yet. You know why? Because Miss Simpson is here. That's why. The police was here today. Yeah.
No, she encourages me. She's like, you need to keep Davis in his place. No, I'm kidding. She wouldn't do that.
Can't let me get too high up. No, got to keep me down low.
Hey, it's just I got to keep you with the Martin-made mentality, man. You get too big for your britches, right? That's right. When you start losing games and not ready to go. So one day when you're, when you're the next Mike Keith, stuff like that, you can say, "I'm Martin made. I can handle the.
That's right.
I can handle the criticism. Eat off the floor. I can handle the criticism from the media and all that because, at Martin they kept me humble.
They did.
Did you ever see the clip where Dion poured the ice water on Tim McCarver? This was I saw a video of that the other day, and that's not what Coach is doing to you, but he's just preparing you for that moment if that ever happens in your life.
Bring it on, Prime. Bring it on, Prime. Let's go. Come on. I'd be ready for that.
Would you? Okay.
I'm Martin Made. He's not Martin Made.
It's working.
He's tough.
He's not Martin Made. No, he doesn't eat off the floor.
I said, and your whole you know, and I give your parents credit, right? I get it, private school and, you know, country clubs and all that.
Oh,
right?
I didn't even realize that. I'm not worthy.
Yeah, you know, you and I, you know, public education, the whole deal. But this is a good track for him. He came to Martin here. He's learned how to be Martin made, right? We're toughening him up, okay? I commend your parents for having vision,
yes.
man.
Yeah.
Mama's the best. She's absolutely
you
best.
know, and they saw some of your shortcomings, some things you needed to work on. So either way,
Hey, either way, they figured something out, and here we
That's
are.
right.
We're right here,
That's
and we're
right.
right now. Well, Coach, thanks so much for your time. Good luck here on
Listen to
Saturday.
him wrapping it up.
Yeah, it was. I mean,
go ahead.
smart and made. Look, he 2 years ago he'd had tears in his eyes.
That's
right now
right.
he's
That's
like,
right.
okay, Coach, we'll see you later.
That's
yeah.
right.
Exactly. That's all right,
man.
Well
Thanks,
done.
Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
If I quit this season, I still be the greatest.
Skyhawk Sports Talk Podcast is brought to you by Weekly Ford Nissan.
And that'll do it for yet another episode of Skyhawk Sports Talk. Davis Gregory and Chris Brinkley wrapping things up for you all. Basketball tipping off their season. Football entering the home stretch, ranked in the national polls as well. And volleyball also with just about 6 matches left to go in their season, trying to make one final push here down the stretch. It is going to be a very fun week for us, and as fall sports continues to move right along.
Yeah, go to utmsports.com, check out the calendar, watch basketball at home this week, and volleyball, and there's a lot going on.
For Chris Brinkley, myself, Davis Gregory, and our great staff, all of our coaches and staff who have come on the episode today, we say God bless from Zaxby's in Martin, Tennessee.
If I quit this season, I still be the greatest.
Skyhawk Sports Talk Podcast is brought to you by Weekly Ford Nissan.